Hello and welcome to another episode of Just with Seven. This is actually the electionary period and a lot of things are happening. Activities are going on, crisis, protests, and of course the cash crunch in Nigeria. And we have a special guest who will be taking us into the world of politics as we take a deeper dive into the election as regards to the cash crunch in Nigeria. Austin, how are you doing?
This is introduction and it's good.
Yeah, it looks like someone that trekked. No, Mr. Austin drove to this place. I can't
Just like what I was telling Ola this morning, I was saying that actually people who are mobile now are really enjoying to an extent because it takes a lot to, leave your place, get to your destination. With regards to, cashless system, I don't understand how people are really surviving because I know what it took me to be here. Honestly,
it's not even easy for everybody now because you need even the fuel scarcity that we have because you still need the cash to go get fuel, although you can still do things. But sometimes the USSD, the bank asks you for straight. So I think everybody is telling on everybody actually.
It's actually a tough season for Nigeria.
Exactly.
I feel like even the transfer is terrible. I had an issue with an Uber driver today. I was supposed to pay him money, but the transfer wasn't going for probably an hour. So it's actually something, so it's really a tough season.
Nigerians are not smiling. In fact, it's not even easy for any of us out there. But kudos to Nigerians. They always have a way of surviving in stuff like this. But, Mr. Austin, let's talk about the election. Currently, this particular election has stirred up a lot of activities, like I already said. For example, we were actually made to understand that the redesign of the Naira notes was to enable free and fair election. But you look at situations of things right now. In some states, there are protests. In some states, there are crises. So Nigerians are complaining because of the cash crunch. People are not being able to access cash anywhere. So I want to really get your perspective in all of these things. Do you actually see the election holding, considering what is happening? I mean, this election that is coming up on Saturday, which is 25th of February 2023. Do you see it coming up? Let's just start with that one.
Yeah, thanks for having me here.
You're welcome.
The election definitely is going to hold, even though the cash money policy of the thing is really telling how the Nigerians. But like the federal government are optimistic about the whole thing, and I think this time around Nigerians are, they've been pushed to the wall, so it's the whole stress, the whole pains is even giving them more energy to push forward to say whether if you guys are doing the cashless policy for whatever reason, we are going to go cast our vote. So for me, the election is going to hold. But the issue that I might have a little bit, we just talked about transportation issues, people going from one place to another, you don't have cash with you. So even if you are to travel down to go cast your vote, maybe in a polling unit that's not close to your house, how are you able to do that? So I don't know if the government are having plans, even though they've not stated anything like that. But I know as of 2019, there was a rebate that was put on transportation, so that people could go to their various places to go cast their vote. So that is where I'm trying to see that it might have a little bit of, hitches in that area. But most polling units, I believe, they are closer to the people. So sure, the people will definitely. In fact, the way it is right now, even if you take people trekking, they will definitely do that. They will do that
because Nigerians have been pushed to the wall.
It's no longer a problem that, like you said, the election is going to actually happen. But the question is now, a lot of Nigerians are asking, how free and fair is this election going to be? What are the measures the INEC is taking to make sure that this election is free, is fair, and is credible? Because we wouldn't want to, Nigerians are saying they wouldn't want to come out and the election is not as it is. So are there measures INEC is putting in place to make sure that this election is free and fair?
Well, I think the first thing, kudos to President Buhari, the first thing INEC have done in conjunction with the federal government is the 2022 Electoral Act that's bringing up the beavers, So the beavers has a lot of advantage against when we had the smart card reader. Number one, the beavers will, when it's been, the beavers captures you, all right, when you do your verification. somebody who, like, you cannot use another person's card to come and sign up with the Vivas. The Vivas will definitely reject you. So all your information, as against the card reader, all your informations are in the Vivas. You understand? So it will be difficult, as against what we had in the card, it will be difficult for the election to be, rigged or all sort of manipulation. Because the Vivas is more of a complex, when it comes to transparency. Is more on
interesting. Because of time, we are actually not, time is against us, but I want to ask you one question so that we can actually go into what we have, which is the other segment. Considering the case Nigerians are eager to vote, to cast their votes, like we already know, the point is that some people will also make mistakes, because I've seen it play out on social media. A lady she was saying that she was going to vote for a particular candidate, and they asked her, what's the name of, what party is the candidate? And she was saying another party. So this is the case, people will make mistakes. So my question is, how would you, I want you to really educate Nigerians on the mistakes that can disqualify their vote.
So basically, election is starting by 8:30 in the morning. That's when the vote is, casted at the polling unit. So you're supposed to go there before 8:30 and do your verification. You do your authentication. By the time you do your verification, they give you, then you check the register that is there to ensure that your name is in that register within that polling unit. So when you do that, you do your facial or your facial verification and maybe your thumb
print. Okay.
You do that, then they give you your ballot box. So that is where the issue comes in. So when you are, I believe the various political parties have taken their time to educate their people on, their party logo and all of that. So basically what you have there is a party logo.
I think there's a constant sensitization going on.
Yeah, so a lot of parties have been doing that. So when you go there, you thump, on the logo. There is a space there. But while you're doing that, you ensure that it doesn't smear into other, for instance, you have a box, let there not be stain at the other board, or just within that space. Okay. You do that, then you fold your paper vertically. Then you go to the cubicle where you have the vote is being cast quickly. Please, because I know a lot of Nigerians want to stay there to see that, okay, our vote is counted. What I make as advice is that by the time you're done casting your vote, you give a space about 300 meters away, all right, and you also have INEC side that will go check your result.
I think it will give Mr. Austin.
I know, right? And it's also very important for them to ask serious questions when they get there, so that they can also join other people to do the right thing. But anyways, let's all try to be very democratic this season, and I believe that I believe what should prevail is the interest of average Nigerians. So let's just, okay, Mr. Austin, we'll be having you next time on this show, because I believe he has a lot to tell us before and after the voting. Thank you very much. So let's move to the next segment.
Talking about the Naira scarcity, it is reaching everybody from the bottom to the top. So recently, the controversial music artist, we all know him in Nigeria, came to complain about the type of Naira that was spread to him on his stage, and he said he will better have to start producing his own currency. And I'm wondering, what is it with Nigeria and the fuse? Must we spray money in parties? Can't we just calm down now that Naira is now available? It's even wise for us to spray such amount of money, and it's actually not Naira, it's just paper. And the guy was vesting anyway. So what do you think of it? Should we stop spraying money now and wait till the end of the election? Let's talk about it.
I think Portable himself should have been scared that amidst the Naira scarcity, people are spraying money. Even fear now. He'd have been more scared, So he was actually expecting that, even when he hears people shouting that there's no cash, you understand? And people are coming to spray you money.
And he get collect the money.
Yeah, I think.
For me, I also think that people are just catching cruise. Nigeria is a jolly country. Yeah. Whatever happens here in Nigeria, people always have a way to find fun out of it. So I don't think there is any cause for alarm for him to come out and start blaming the government. And yes, we know cash scarcity, but come on, let's just be realistic. There is nothing wrong with that. But I also think it has everything to do with the value placed on the artist. You understand? You know, it's not everybody that you just call and the next thing people are using fake.
Maybe they want to keep the hype going.
Maybe next time what he should do is my account number Zazu, my account number is 333. Don't please just make me old so that we get to understand.
And portable if he's even calling on the federal government. I think the federal government will then come with an arrest warrant because there's a law that you're not permitted to spray money like that. Yeah, I think there's a law.
Yeah,
definitely. That's true. Well, he was not the one spraying the money. So,
so and the thing is that he had boldness to come and complain. I'm like, what do you expect? People cannot even eat. On my paper, they should have sprayed you. So
they didn't take time to customize this particular paper, calling it money. But anyways, I believe they're just catching crew.
I'm telling you. Okay, guys, really, I want to thank Mr. Austin for being on the show. It was nice. It was informative, and I'm super excited to have you once more again. And today's Gist with 7, and I'm Olachi. Okay. But before you go, please subscribe on our YouTube page and follow us on all our social media platforms, which are running on the screen. Website www.7media.ng and our TikTok 7TV Abuja.